Hello, friends. You might have seen my day in the life vlogs, but I also have a true crime podcast called Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. You can find full episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the video versions of all my episodes on my true crime channel at Bay Area Housewife. If you're new here, hi, I'm Audrey, a paralegal turned stay-at-home mom who loves true crime. Every Friday, I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. If you don't know what a cucuy or a llorona is, it's just a Spanish word or term for monster. If you're into that sort of thing, stick around and feel free to check out my other previously recorded and released content. Also, feel free to let me know if there's a case you'd like for me to cover. Trigger warning, the cases I cover are wild. Topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is very strongly advised. With all that being said, grab your hot Cheetos and let's get started on today's case. We've all heard about the case of Laci Peterson, who was pregnant when she was murdered allegedly by her husband, Scott Peterson, who has been convicted and is currently on death row. But have you heard about Marta Moreno? Sadly, there are many Laci Petersons out there. In fact, murder is the leading cause of death among pregnant women in the United States. This is my second episode on my series of unalived pregnant women. The first was Evelyn Hernandez, whose death was eerily similar to Laci Peterson, yet received very little coverage. A May 2003 article by the Modesto Bee features a professor of sociology and criminal justice at the California State University, Stanislaus, saying, quote, "Kidnapping and missing people draw more interest because the public can get involved and help look. If people have a vested interest in trying to help, they have an emotional involvement. There is more interest if the person is of the same race or ethnic group. Much of the media coverage is directed towards the readership that the type of print or medium or newspaper or magazine targets. It's a careful economic decision." Robert Fernandez, then 33 years old and the father of Marta's 8-year-old daughter, in a May 2003 Modesto Bee article said, quote, "I understand there are certain factors why she's getting more attention than Martha." He was referring to Laci Peterson. "Sometimes you forget about people whose lives were taken away. You just hear their name one time and that's it. And they're forgotten. Human lives are more valuable than that," end quote. Marta's sister, a then 36-year-old named Olga Banderas, said that watching news coverage about the Peterson case gave her PTSD about her sister's death. She said, quote, "It's like we have to relive the whole thing all over again," end quote. In April of 2002, 29-year-old Gilberto Cano was charged with 2 counts of murder in the deaths of his pregnant girlfriend, 29-year-old Marta Isela Moreno, and their unborn baby. When the charges were filed, Detective Sergeant Bill Heine said, quote, "He knew she was pregnant. He knew how far along she was. By taking her life, he also took the life of the baby," end quote. Gilberto was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder with special allegations that could have resulted in the death sentence at the time. A year later, Scott Peterson received the same charges with very, very, very different results. This sad excuse of a human faced the consequences of his own actions at the Stanislaus County Superior Court. Throughout the legal proceedings, Marta Moreno's family and friends wore shirts with her photo in her honor. They wanted everyone to see her radiant smile and the lives this real-life cucuy took away from them. Marta wasn't just taken away from her friends and family. She was pregnant with her second child. She already had a daughter from a previous relationship who had to grow up without her mom. Due to the public outrage, the court assigned more bailiffs than usual for the preliminary hearing and all of the hearings thereafter. The judge, Honorable Hurl Johnson, did not allow cameras in the courtroom. Marta was born on April 20th of 1972. She was from Modesto, California, a fellow Latina. She was also 6.5 months pregnant when she and her unborn baby were murdered on her birthday of April 20th of 2002. She was found on the bedroom floor of her Kerr Avenue residence she shared with her partner, Gilberto Cano. The now 30-year-old man faced the death penalty if convicted. At trial, Gilberto was represented by criminal defense attorney Kirk McAllister, who also represented Scott Peterson. Prosecuting the case was Senior Deputy District Attorney Rick DiStasso. He also prosecuted Scott Peterson. At the preliminary hearing, the judge ordered Gilberto to be tried for the charges. Marta sustained 3 stab wounds to her stomach, 2 of which could have been fatal, according to Jennifer Rulon, a forensic pathologist, who also testified that Marta had also been strangled to death. The DA argued that those stab wounds indicated that the attacker was clearly doing so in attempt to unalive the baby. The same baby he fathered, the same baby Marta's body was creating their bones and organs with. Authorities recovered a bloody knife wrapped in a t-shirt. They found Marta's body at the base of her bed under some blankets. According to court documents, immediately after killing his pregnant girlfriend, Gilberto went to his sister's house in Ceres and said he did something bad to Marta. 2 witnesses testified having interacted with Gilberto on the night he killed Marta and the baby. They said he told them that he had injured or done something bad to Marta. They also said he was acting strange and could not concentrate. They suspected he was on drugs.